What's up, Nightwalkers? It's Will from NVG with another video for you guys today. In this video, I'm going over the Norotos Lo-Sto. At the start of all my videos, I like to do a full disclosure and let you guys know that I work at NVG and I get access to products because I work at NVG, and that's the case with this Norotos Lo-Sto. Now, this channel is not affiliated with NVG. It's not part of my job, nothing like that. Whenever I get products that I think are pretty cool and I want to show them off to you guys, since I get access to them, I'll make videos, and that's the case with this Lo-Sto mount right here. Now, this mount has been out there for a minute. The reason I'm making the video on this thing is that a lot of people honestly don't know a lot about this helmet mount. I'm going to go from the top down to the bottom, going over the operation and the features of this helmet mount. So the first thing I'm going to cover is this, you see it says Breakaway right here. You see Breakaway, you see lock. So what Breakaway means, if you're not familiar with Breakaway mounts, is a Breakaway helmet mount like this Lo-Sto. When the breakaway is engaged, and so breakaway means, see how you got the arrow on it? It's telling you push it in to turn on breakaway. Lock it to push it that direction. So anyways, when breakaway is engaged, when your helmet mount is locked into your night vision shroud, if you get enough force on your goggle, let's say you get snagged on something or you hit the ground or whatever, it's going to allow this helmet mount to then release from your helmet shroud, your night vision shroud that's attached to your helmet that this locks into. So for example, there's an OpsCore MBS shroud. There it is locked in. Breakaway's engaged. Since I don't have a device on here, I'm gonna have to lever it. It's gonna be pretty obnoxious. So this is how it operates. Is if you had enough force, it's gonna detach from the shroud. The reason, like I said, you want that is to protect neck injury, things like that. If you don't need that breakaway feature, all you gotta do is hit the lock button, push that in. Now breakaway is not going to happen on you if you don't want that to happen. The other side benefit, the way Norotos does it, unlike other companies out there, is when you lock it, it actually locks out your ability to accidentally release the mount. So I'll kind of cover the latch a little bit later, but what I'm talking about is when breakaway is engaged, you're still going to have the ability to push this latch button in, and this is how you lock your mount into your shroud, and this is how you release it from the shroud. And so if you're not familiar with mounts, I'll show you. So here's the latch. That's how it's locked in. I got to take it out of there. I push this in, it comes out. Now when you lock it, because it can't do that, you don't have the ability to accidentally release it from the shroud, right? Until you turn on breakaway. So why would that be important? With this particular helmet mount, because the push button is on this side of the mount, which is the same side as the latch, that can be important. I would say, especially for new people to this mount, I would lock it in if you don't need breakaway. And that way, if you reach over and you accidentally hit this instead of that, you can't accidentally release it. And so if you do that, you go, oh shit, okay, this is the one I actually wanted. There you go. That's why I like it. For the adjustment screw right here, this is how you adjust how much tension that you want for the breakaway. So you could make it harder to detach or easier to detach depending on what you want out of it. So that's that adjustment screw. The next thing down is this lever. This lever is for your slider adjustment for the mount to go up and down. And what this is adjusting is basically the height of your device to your eyes. You know, everybody's different. So you got to set it up that way based on your helmet to where you want your device to be at. Once you find that spot, you just lock it down and you're good to go. This is your tilt adjustment lever. And so what the tilt adjustment does, if you notice, it's going to adjust the tilt on the arm. And this is used to change the height of, or the tilt of your device to your eyes, relative to your eyes. And so there's your tilt adjustment. Next thing down is this slider adjustment lever. So you move this up, and this allows you to slide the interface socket back and forth for how close you want your device to your eyes or how far away you want it. And that's how you make your adjustment there. This button right here, this is the release button for detaching your night vision device to the helmet mount. So here, I'll lock it into this dovetail and then you push the button. That's how you release it. Now, one thing that's important, I'll just talk about it. So anytime you lock it in, no matter the mount, whether it's a Lo-Sto or anything else, always do a push-pull, make sure it's locked in there all the way in case this got hung up for some reason from debris or whatever, or maybe your dovetail spade got out of spec or something like that. One thing that is neat with it is if it is back in this recessed position where it's closer to your eye, the button is more recessed to where you can't really accidentally hit it. You got to make a pretty deliberate movement. Now, if you're running your device pretty far out there, it is a little bit easier to hit it. However, it is still recessed in there. So these mounts are available in this coyote brown finish or in black. So one thing I really like about the Lo-Sto is this hinge mechanism here. It has like 0 play. So you'll see like that thing's not moving at all, which is really neat. Like the machining on it's really precise. Now when you stow it up on the helmet, you do have a little bit of play right there, but it's not bad at all. When you're running bungees on your device, it's going to take out any of that play, but it's pretty notable that you don't have any play at the bottom. This is where most helmet mounts at the hinge, as they wear out and stuff, you'll have some play right there. The way this thing's machined is it's really tight. The Lo-Sto has 1.1 inches of travel here on the arm, and so certain devices may run closer to your eyes than other ones. So for example, this goggle right here is an rnvg-a, and the dovetail location on this goggle is pretty far forward. And so as you can see, I've got this thing run all the way out as far as I can, and the goggles are still fairly close. I can run this with my iPro, no problem, but my iPro is pretty close to the eyepieces. If you had an OpsCore step-in visor or something, you're pretty much going to be right up on it, maybe a gas mask as well. So for certain devices that have, if the dovetail is really far forward like this, this mount may be a little bit too close if you're going to be running large iPro, step-in visors, gas masks, things like that. Just something to know. If you need that, I would probably go with the current production G24 mount because it has the 1.4 inches of travel on it. So just keep that in mind. GPNVGs, that's another one. GPNVGs do need the longer travel distance, but all other systems I've come across, they fit just fine. To wrap up this video, the Lo-Sto is a fantastic dovetail helmet mount. I'd highly recommend getting it if you're looking for a dovetail helmet mount, and it's available in 2 different configurations. This one I've been showing you here, this is the push button, and that's because it has a push button release for how you raise and lower the helmet mount. And there's also a force to overcome that's listed as FTO. Push button is PB. That's how you'll see them on the TVC website. Now, force to overcome just means that the way that you raise and lower the mount is by force. You just grab it and you just move it up and move it down. Now, it takes a decent amount of force to do that. Obviously, it can't be loose. They don't want the thing flopping around like that. So the push button is my preferred way because you have more control over how fast you want to raise and lower the device on your helmet. Which can be nice. The force to overcome, sometimes it could just kind of shove your helmet around. If your helmet's not on tight or snugged up, you may have to hold it in place when you move your device up and down, especially with the dual tube system. I find it much easier to use the push button. So if you're looking for a dovetail helmet mount, this Lo-Sto is great. If you got any questions on this mount, other Norotos products, anything else, night vision, whatever the case is, feel free to reach out to me at TVC. You can hit me up over there, put comments down in this video, and I'll reply as soon as I can. As always, I always appreciate you guys watching these videos and giving me support. Much appreciated, sincerely. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and thanks for watching, and you guys take care.